Hi ladies, Tara here, your personal stylist and confidence coach at voom-VoomVaya. And this week, as promised, I'm gonna get a little bit more personal. And I'm just gonna say it, we're gonna talk about sex. Now, I've been trying to give some thought on how can I make this topic less taboo and not uncomfortable. And I can't promise you that I have all the answers, but I certainly hope I can give you some tips and tricks to get your sexy self back, as well as help get that voom-VoomVaya back under the sheets. So I started thinking, sex. How can we make this fun and easy to remember and actually tangible besides just the fact of, well, let's just go have sex? Which I get it. During menopause, we're not always in the mood. We don't feel attractive. Sometimes we feel like our partner doesn't find us attractive. Sometimes it's a loss of libido, or it can actually be painful. I know all of that's real and true. I've actually experienced it, many of it, myself. So that's what inspired me. Is I've gone through this, I'm still going through it, and it was what we heard from you. Is this is a topic that gets difficult to discuss, and we're all about our wits' end on how to make it better. All right, sex during menopause. So I thought I'd have a little fun with this and break down the word sex, so it'd be maybe kind of easy to remember. So let's start with S. I found one of the best ways to get my sexy self back is actually in the form of self-care. Now, I know this kind of sounds like common sense, but I really want you to look at yourself straight and ask, when was the last time you did something for yourself? Something that gave you self-care. I find that self-care comes in many different forms. And I tell you, for me, it's often getting a facial or a massage, getting my nails done, getting a pedicure. Sometimes it can even just binge watch Netflix, right? So self-care to me is one of the most important ways for you to get your sexy self back. We have to take care of ourselves, especially during this changing part of our lives. And I think the most difficult part about giving ourselves self-care is that we start to feel guilty. We feel like we're neglecting our children, we're neglecting our spouses, we're neglecting our work. There is nothing wrong with you taking care of you. You need to give yourself permission. So much of that is about our mindset saying, hey, I don't have time for this. Well, I'm giving you permission. Make time for yourself and find what makes you tick. Sleep. I know that if I don't get enough sleep, I am the biggest cranky bear, and no wonder my husband doesn't want to have sex with me. I am a BI, boop, boop, we'll just bleep that out. I'm awful if I don't get enough sleep. And I know from firsthand experience, while going through menopause, sleep is difficult to come by. I don't know how many of you have woken up at 2 and 3 in the morning, can't get back to sleep. The mind starts racing, the night sweats. Been there, done that. One of my favorite products that I have used to get a good night's sleep, that even when I do wake up in the middle of the night, I'm able to go back to sleep, is a form of melatonin. And I'll be honest with you, and I would not endorse this if I didn't mean it, I'm absolutely in love with voom-VoomVaya's Meno Snooze. I've taken all sorts of different types of melatonin to help me sleep because I'm not a big sleeping pill kind of girl. This, hands down, and you can see because like the bottle's almost over, almost I need to reorder. This has been by far the best sleep aid I have ever used. It tastes good. It's like a passion fruit flavor, which I don't even care about. I take one right before bed, and what I love about it, and I only take one, so what I love about it is if I wake up in the middle of the night, I'm able to go back to sleep, and I don't wake up feeling groggy in the morning like a lot of melatonins have made me feel. So self-care and sleep, to me, are two of the most important parts of a great sex life. All right, moving on with our sex talk is E. All right, experiment. All right, now I know what you're thinking, experiment in the bedroom. No, I don't mean that, although that could be good too. I mean, experiment. Find that thing that's been on your bucket list for so long and give it a try. Stop saying, no, I don't have time for that. Whether that is learning a new sport, which is what I did. I'm telling you, learning tennis completely revived my spirit because mentally and physically it's created a more healthy environment for me. So maybe for you, it's taking up watercoloring or painting or a yoga class, or maybe it's bungee jumping. I don't know how adventurous you are, but you need to experiment. You need to go out there in life and find new things that are going to revive your spirit, but more importantly, revive your confidence. I find that the biggest thing that menopause destroys is our confidence as beautiful, attractive women. Ladies, we still have a ton to offer, and we still have a ton that we can learn and enjoy. And I believe by experimenting and trying new things is going to be that step forward into building your confidence and renewing your spirit, especially for those of you that maybe are empty nesters and your children are out of the home, so you're feeling a little bit lost on where your responsibilities might be. Maybe you're tapering off at the end of your career and retiring, and you're thinking, okay, what do I do next? I also find by you trying out new things, it gives you something interesting to talk about with your partner and something interesting to share with your partner. And hopefully, perhaps maybe it's something you'll want to share with your partner, and you can start to reconnect on that level. I know for me and my husband, when we lived in California, one of our favorite kind of very easy things that we used to do is we'd go sit in our jacuzzi and talk. We'd have a glass of wine and we'd connect. And when we moved to Dallas, we didn't have that environment. And two things reconnected us. One of it was playing tennis together. And then secondly, we ended up building a patio cover in our backyard, and it became our little haven, because we have a really small backyard here in Texas, and it became our little haven where we could just sit and connect and talk. Not even about, we're not even being physical in that sense, but what it does is it allows us some space to be able to talk about our day, enjoy our environment, and reconnect. Okay, and my third step this week for getting your voom-VoomVaya back under the sheets is, I don't know, be X-rated? No, I'm just kidding. I really did struggle with X, but what I would suggest is go out and buy new lingerie. When is the last time, ladies, you bought brand new bras and panties? And I don't mean a teddy and fishnet stockings. I mean tried and true, real new bras and panties. There is nothing that's going to make you feel more beautiful in your skin than a great fitting bra and some pretty panties. And I don't care if they're practical and all nude, if it's a sports bra, or if it's a fun fancy color. I want you to go out and splurge and buy some fresh new undergarments or lingerie. There's just something about buying fresh bras and undies and seeing them in your garment drawer that really helps just bring a little bit of that sexiness back, just to start. And as your sexiness starts to come back and that confidence starts to build, that's what your partner sees. In my experience and with the people that I've talked to, a lot of times, and especially the men, trust me, they think you're hot. It's your confidence that's diminishing that. And so I find that having something pretty underneath my clothes does a lot with how I portray myself in my clothes. So much about having great sex is about the confidence that you exude. I realize that there's physical implications there as well, and I know we're trying to do everything we can to rectify that with great sleep, with exercise, with nutrition, with supplements. But let me tell you, there's some power in some pretty bras and panties. All right, ladies, I hope you enjoyed these few tips and tricks on getting that voom-VoomVaya back under the sheets. I know that talking about sex and menopause are some challenging topics, and sometimes it's embarrassing or it's a little bit taboo, but I love that we're able to open up the conversation and be candid. Thing is I'd love to hear from you. I don't pretend to have all the answers. These are just some of the things that have worked for me, and I promise you I'm gonna be coming back with more. But I love that we're opening up that personal conversation about sex. And I think the most important thing to know is that you're not alone. All of us are having, if not all or some of those symptoms that you're feeling right now. So please, if you're loving this content, don't forget to like, subscribe, and show voom-VoomVaya some love. And until next time, I love helping you get your voom-VoomVaya back.